I heard Herb just came back in the door here.
Hello, hello. Put him on speaker.
Herb and Leonard. He's playing Andre.
Leonard? You know about, don't you?
Nobody.
Say it for me.
Leonard?
Leonard.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You said it properly.
Mm-hmm.
You want to put him on speaker?
Yeah, but...
Hey, Leonard, can you hear me?
Yeah, how you doing, Brother Herb?
I'm doing good, sir. How are you?
I'm fine.
It sounds wonderful to actually hear your voice for the very first time.
Yeah.
Ditto.
Is it Scovens or Scovens?
Scovens.
Scovens. So it is the long O.
Uh-huh.
Very good. Very good. What is it like to be you, Leonard?
What's it like to be you?
Yeah, what is it like to be you? I wish you were here with us so I could just sit down and talk to you face to face. I really do.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's beautiful and it's tough. I think it's the same for anybody. What is it like to be you?
Well, it's beautiful and it's tough. Now, Michael wrote you a letter. Did you get his letter already?
No, I haven't got the letter yet.
Okay. Well, Michael should be here in a little bit. Leonard is also here. Leonard is going to be playing your brother Andre. Was Andre older or younger than you? I keep thinking he was older.
Yeah, he was younger than me, but sometimes he acted like an older brother.
Hey, Leonard. It's Leonard. You can call me D for short. It's a lot easier than Leonard. First of all, I just want to thank you for taking the time to do this conference with us. It's really helpful.
Absolutely. I consider it a privilege and a pleasure.
Ah, man, the privilege and pleasure is all mine. Like Herb said, I just had a few questions. I was actually going to just write you a letter, but then I figured I should contact Herb and probably try to get you on the phone. It would be a lot easier to just go back and forth with the questions instead of, writing a 1,000-page letter.
That's why you wrote a book.
All right. The first question is, can you describe your brother Andre for me physically? Like how would he walk? What would he wear? Just off the top of your head, and then we'll go into more detail.
Okay, Andre was probably the coolest brother that I've known. Probably he was much more socially adept than I was. He had a lot more, I would consider personality, pizzazz about himself. He was a pretty boy who hated being a pretty boy, so he spent a lot of time roughing himself up, which is what roughing his appearance up, improved dreadlocks, because he didn't like the fact that he had really silky hair. He's really down to earth, really intensely understanding, extremely open-minded. A casual observer would look at him and consider him, a thug. But internally, he was sometimes talking with him to get kind of mystical. He was my best friend, and since his death, I have not had a male friend as close to me as he was. Very intelligent, gifted musically. He was a wonderful lyricist, rapper. That was his dream, to be a rapper, to be an artist. He was very giving, very protective, very loving. He was an extraordinary young brother who made some very, very poor choices. Didn't have a model to look to. Didn't have anyone to teach him how to make, healthy choices. He looked to me. I wasn't able to provide that kind of leadership for him because I was screwed up as a child and as a young man. But toward the end of his life, he got strung out on heroin and cocaine. Came to a very, very bad end. He was killed in Las Vegas in There's mystery. Either he was killed or he overdosed. We don't know. It was suspicion of some foul play, but it was an extraordinary brother as far as I'm concerned.
Wow, he does sound like an extraordinary brother. I'm a brother of 5. I have 5 brothers, so I can understand, and I'm not even the older one, but sometimes I do act, not sometimes, I do act like I am the older one. I do act like I'm the oldest one. My dad says that all the time, and everyone says that too. So we can definitely relate on that point. You said that he's a lyricist. What's his favorite rapper? In the play, he mentions Nino Brown and Big Daddy Kane. I know Nino Brown is a fictional character, but Big Daddy Kane is not. Was that his favorite rapper?
He was really intensely into Notorious B.I.G., Mobb Deep, Nas. He was an East Coast rap fan, East Coast hip hop fan. So that's basically it. You know, anything that was East Coast, early 90s, and he was raised in the hip hop era. I wasn't. I came before the hip hop era. But all his life, he knew hip hop, and he was into it before I was into it, right? Because I was still listening to soul and funk and all of that kind of stuff while he was rocking the Big Daddy Kane and the Marley Marl. So they're feature. I'm gonna be back in about 20 minutes. I hope you brothers are still there when I come back. But if I don't leave now, I'm back on the meeting.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm going to be back in about 25 minutes. Will you all still be able to be there?
Yes.
Yeah, we should be here. Michael Joseph just arrived. Say hello, Michael.
Hey, Leonard, how you doing?
Okay, I'm fine, but I got to run the job. I'll be back in about 25 minutes, and I'll call back.
You got it.
Cool?
You got it.
Okay, all right, I'll be back.
Okay.
All right, be blessed.
You too, brother. All this. Tell me what it's like to play Leonard's character.
It's tough. This is probably one of the toughest roles I've ever done for a couple reasons. It's tough because, well, I'm playing someone else, period. It's not like an invented character that you can just make up whatever you want. And, you know, the accessibility to him is limited. So it's tough to pick up on different kind of things. But it's not the easiest, but I'm definitely up for the challenge because this story really needs to be told, I believe. It's tough. It's tough though because so many times during the play, it's like he's so many different people at so many different times, and to adjust to who he is and to figure out who he is, it definitely takes some work. Some days, I'll be honest, some days it's like I look at it and I'm like, I need a break because it's a lot. You know, the whole plot, the whole story that happened, everything is just, sometimes you need a mental break from it, you know. I can't speak for every person or every group of people. I can't even speak for my personal group of people, but just from my major experience being a young black man and having gone to college and meeting other black men who aspire to be something with their lives, the way we interact with each other is different from the way we interact at work or other social settings. I don't know if any other race or anybody has to adjust the way we have to adjust. It's literally an adjustment every time. Like, you know, I could probably be hanging out with my boys and, you know, we speak a certain way, you know, we laugh, we know certain jokes are acceptable, whereas yesterday I went to a corporate meeting with my vice regional manager, whoever he is, and they were like, who has a joke? A clean one. Make sure it's clean. And, you know, it's just like, I mean, I understand both worlds, you know, but I think a lot of times where the struggle comes in is that some people don't understand both. But then again, it makes you question yourself, why do you have to even adjust? Why can't you just be yourself?
Can't you just be?
It's an extreme balance that is challenging. It is. Okay. So that I can kind of relate to him in those aspects where I see, but
okay. Very good.
Seeing you last Thursday, a week ago today, downtown, with your T-shirt on and your sagging pants.
Pull those pants up.
Yeah. We had a different kind of conversation than a conference meeting.
Yeah. Agnes had to fight the urge to tell me to pull my pants up.
My first name is Leonard Brutus.
Okay. And where are you from, Leonard?
I'm from Haiti.
From Haiti.
Port-au-Prince.
What brought you here to Tallahassee?
School. I've always been a Florida State fan. About 4 years ago, I decided I would make the ultimate sacrifice and do everything I can and just pick up and leave so I can attend FSU and get my degree so I can further pursue acting full time.
Okay. Now you're also in the armed services as well, is that right?
Yes, I'm in the Navy Reserves.
You came in contact with this play based on the book WILDFLOWERS in the Median last year, is that right?
That is right.
Okay, what was that like for you last year to be a part of this? I can't remember what character you read in that.
I read for multiple characters. I read for Andre, the pastor, the police officer, and I believe I was Lavender.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, it was a lot.
Yeah,
okay.
it was a lot.
So now that you're going to be playing the character Andre, Green is your character, but you're also playing Andre, the younger brother of Leonard Scovens. Reading that now and hearing Leonard's voice for the first time today, what is it like for you? What's going through your head about this character?
My perspective is definitely shifting. A few things that I did not think were definitely are. For instance, what I always do is I try to search for similarities between the character and I so I can incorporate that into myself further when I'm performing. And one similarity that's great here is the fact that he's the younger brother, but he acts like the older brother. In my case, as I was saying, that's definitely me. I'm the third oldest. However, I go home and all my siblings are there. I'm like, okay, well, we need to do this, and everyone does it. It's not something I pride myself over. However, it's just with experience, I believe, with experience, your siblings will listen and they will learn from you. Yes, on both characters actually. I'll start with Andre. With Andre, he just, I think, in my opinion, as of now, he seems to be the outgoing one. He goes out and he listens. He sees how the world interacts with him, and he interacts with the world, and he takes on that. However, Leonard seems to be a little more sheltered, and he's still innocent in his mind when he's waiting for, especially when he talks about his father and his connection with his father. I've been fortunate to have my father in my life the entire time. However, until recently, I wasn't aware of how much of a change or how big of a gap that would leave in your life if you grew up without your father. And it's incremental. It's outstanding. I can't even begin to fathom that, because unless you're going through it, you can't understand it. I find that to be the hardest thing that I'm having to do right now.
I can't seem to let go of the fact that I feel like this story could have been so different. Just the more I read about him, and the more I read about what happened, and the more I read over the script, especially toward the end, because I'm trying so hard to remember to go in order at the beginning. The other day I just flipped through and read the whole play again, like toward the end. And there's a lot of things back there that I didn't notice that I was questioning. I'm like, oh, the answers is right here. And in the play, there's a specific line where Agnes' character asks him, why did he do it? Was it the drugs? And he said, that's the only reason. Pretty, like, you know, and I'm just like, damn, this could have been a completely different story. And it just shows you the magnitude of, one, not having a father figure in your life, or in his case, which is worse probably, having a negative father figure in your life. Because if you ask me, that jump was negative. It was completely, it was negative all the way through. You know, I just feel like it also testifies to how strong drugs can be, you know, and it's just, this story could have been so different. This story could have been entirely different. There's some people in this world I feel like would read this play and think, oh, those are excuses. No, we're not here to make excuses. We're here to show human. The fact that we make mistakes, the fact that we learn from our mistakes, and the fact that sometimes we have to live with the consequences of those mistakes. Just human.
So Agnes, what is your hope for this play? What do you want people to walk away with?
I want people to walk away with a couple of things. One is that everybody in that play is a human being. One of the things for me that when Pat was murdered, and we talked about this a little bit the other day, is the way that the press looked at Pat.
Right.
Pat was a woman with a small child who had an alcohol problem and was in treatment and lived in a very, very poor living environment and took this black guy in. Well, what the hell do you expect?
And that's how it seemed to you that people were looking at it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, as if she should have known better what she was getting into.
Right.
But do you think that it sounds also like that is one of those things that's just a part of the history of our country. You know what I mean? It's part of the history of our country.
Right.
And well, especially here in the South.
Hello. Hey, you're back. Okay, Mike is here. I want to talk to Mike for a minute.
I'll put him on speaker.
Hey, Leonard.
Mike, how you doing, little brother?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
I'm all right. It's kind of, how does it feel to be talking to the dude that you're playing on stage? It must be kind of odd, short or something.
Did you get my letter?
Oh, he did again.
I didn't get it yet. When did you send it?
I want to say Saturday. Yep, it was Saturday morning. I sent it out.
Okay, I might get it tonight or probably Monday.
Okay, well, I got a lot of questions in there for you.
Okay.
But since I have you on the phone, I actually got a chance to see some of the work that you did with the ladies when they came to interview you. So
Okay.
I have an idea of your personality. Honestly, though, from reading the play, I kind of picked up on a lot of things already. And seeing you and speaking to them, it just confirmed and gave me more to work with, you know?
Okay.
Is there anything that you want to tell me that you would like me to focus on, or that you want me to bring out, or that you don't want me to leave untouched?
The fact that the intensity of the love and the intensity of the love that I have for Agnes, for Pat, and for Chris. I think from my perspective, that's one of the important things that I'd like to see communicated. But also the dynamic between myself and the pastor, Pastor Tim. That was a pivotal experience in my life that took me over the edge. Since then, the pastor and I have reconciled, and I have forgiven him for the choices he made. But I think that it's important for you to really get how devastating that experience was for a young man who was in trouble and who was seeking guidance and who was betrayed by one of the older men he trusted to provide that guidance. I think it's pivotal because, particularly in our community, we lack, or I lacked, and many of the brothers that I grew up with lacked strong male guidance. And that has contributed to a lot of the outcomes that I see in impact the lives of the men that I live around. So as far as, the question is always asked, how can someone with some semblance of intelligence go bad and make destructive choices? I think that the key in our community is the lack of strong male guidance in many of our homes, and the betrayal of our youth by those our youth is supposed to be able to trust. So I think that those two things are vitally important as far as you're betraying the character of being betrayed. What are you getting out of the experience?
Oh man. Well, first of all, a whole lot of lines. That's the first thing. But outside of the lines, I literally had to separate the script into beats, and by beats I mean every time the tempo changes or I feel like there's a change in emotion, I've split it up so that way I can better gauge the way I'm going into it. But what I'm getting out of it is a lot of emotion, man. I'm telling you, it's funny you mentioned the part with the pastor, because those are one of the parts right there that make me the most uncomfortable. Matter of fact, before I accepted the role, I made sure I had to read through it to make sure it didn't get too uncomfortable for me. Like things like that will be easier to play off of because I get it. I know that you and I are, like, as far as age is concerned, we're a generation apart, but a lot has not changed to the experience that black men have in this country a lot of times, So there's a whole lot that I definitely can relate to. But the thing that I get a lot of is you just seem like, as I'm reading it, you just seem so intelligent. And it's not because the words are written in plain English. It's just when I met the two filmmakers who interviewed you, everything they told me about you are things that I picked up on my own, which confirmed to me that I'm doing the right thing. Yeah,
you brothers are making a brother feel real good.
Nice.
But yeah, man. But that's real, man. I'm looking forward to, because there's some questions that I asked in the letter. I can't remember them right now, but when you get that, I'm looking forward to getting it back and to see what I can build off on that too.
Okay, and as soon as I get it, I'll fire it right back off to you. It's not going to waste any time to get back to you. I'm glad that you spoke about tempo and rhythm, and because that's one of the things that I wanted to applaud Herb on, because the substance of the piece is powerful enough. But Herb, you managed to draw the art out of it. One of the things that Agnes and I talked about is, what is the most effective way to communicate the message? Whatever messages we're trying to communicate, and it seems to be through art. And Herb, you masterfully rewrote that script and brought the art of it to the fore. And I think that when you do the full production, it's going to be an extraordinarily powerful experience for everyone in the audience, and I wanted to commend you on that.
Wow.
The rhythm of the pieces is I don't have the words to really describe the intensity of my feelings about that.
Wow.
It's music. It's a tragedy. But the music of it I hope, make it more digestible for people who have found the subject matter getting my men together. He did. Finally located the brothers who I'm going to be working with to do some programming here in this institution. So my days consist of reading, writing, studying, and working with the men that I'm pulling together to try to do some things here to help other people. I've kept the faith. Agnes has kept the faith, and you all know what you were doing has been an extraordinary gift to Agnes, because what happened earlier this year was extremely discouraging for her. She's struggled since then. But what you all are doing keeps her inspired during those difficult moments when, she questions, what the struggle is for. If what she's, so passionate about it, if the message that she's trying to communicate is getting through to people, you all have proven to her that what she's doing has been the right thing and has been paying off. So, I thank you for bringing the light and the energy that you brought to me. All of you have brought to the table. And I wanted to tell you one thing that I forgot about Andre. Not that I forgot to mention about Andre was his sense of humor. He was an extremely funny brother. I don't know if it's communicated in the book or the play that when he is saying, things about me not playing basketball, not meaning to play basketball, and so on and so forth. He's joking.
You have 1 minute left.
He had a really terrific sense of humor. Because the story is a human story. It's not just about Agnes or myself or Andre or Terrence and Chris. It's a human story. And there's something in it that I think that all of us can identify with. The way to communicate that is by finding the space within yourself that, resonates with that very human experience of falling and getting up and being hurt and being wounded and striving to heal, of doing wrong.
Thank you for using Genetics. Goodbye.
Wow.